Welcome, everybody. We're going to get started in just a moment, just giving everybody a chance to come in. I'm excited for today with our webinar. I even pulled out my magnifying glass to keep with the theme today. We'll get started in just a moment. Hey everybody, welcome to today's webinar, Channel Science Investigations, how using Partner DNA will grow your channel for channel chiefs who don't accept the status quo. So excited to be here with you today. We have so much to cover. Some ground rules for today, everybody. All participants will be on mute. Please type in your questions in the question pane as the webinar is going on, and also right up to the end, we will be answering questions. If your question applies to what we're speaking about right at that moment, we may answer it at the time. Otherwise, we'll likely wait until the end to respond to the questions. Our goal is 30 minutes because we value your time, and that includes questions. Be prepared to tune in. So close your email, close your phone, anything that might be a distraction for you. We're going to be sending you so much information. Be prepared to take notes. And there is a survey, a very, very, very short survey at the end that will pop up after the webinar closes with just a couple of questions. So please help us help you by answering those few short questions. And we are recording this session for those who might have to pop off early, although we hope you won't. And for those who, because tech happens, may not have been able to make this live. A couple of things to set up for today. There are some channel crimes and pains. Why do only 5 to 10% of our partners drive new revenue? And why are my so-called approved partner, who are they? Who are the approved partner companies? Do I even know? I love this next one. Why are you wasting money on partners who don't drive revenue? We've all gone to events where we take them to expensive dinners, we buy them games, we buy them gifts. We're saying thank you, but they do nothing to help us or to even help themselves with our products. How do we efficiently find more of the right ones to recruit and invest in? And why is our PRM always filled with old, bad data? Can't we keep our knowledge current? These are some of the things that we're going to be addressing today with how we can help you using Partner DNA to get to the bottom, to uncover all of that great data that you have there. So our chief investigators are today, me, Laura Stewart. I am a former MSP, founded my own multi-state company. I've consulted on both sides of the aisle. I'm a strategist. I now am the director of online channel events for SaaSMAX PartnerOptimizer, and I'm also a top podcast host. And doing the webinar with me today, as you can see on camera, is my friend and somebody I have looked up to for years in all his roles as channel chief in different places, is the one and only Randy Farbach. Randy, welcome.
Thank you, Laura. Glad to be here. And I love our hats that are on that slide.
I know, I can't believe it. I love it. Goes so well with my magnifying glass from childhood.
We're going to be looking into that today. It's going to be fun.
All right, let's dive right in, Randy. I'll let you take it over from here.
Okay, so what we all wanted and what I've wanted in my career as a channel leader at Citrix Online and at LogMeIn is to find the right partners. And so just a quick poll, what percentage of your partners are active today in your network? And choose one. This is going to be really interesting. And I'd love to see what everyone says and what we can learn from.
Right now, it's all over the place. I can't wait to close the poll in just a moment and actually see what our numbers are. I think it's going to surprise you. We've still got people voting. People are changing the numbers as we speak.
Yeah, we're trying to move away from offer a scientific approach. So that's what we're going to be doing. So wherever you're at, we can help you improve that and help you understand Okay, no idea. I agree. More than 50%, that's awesome. Well, maybe we'll learn from you. And 20% I think is standard, the old 80-20 rule, and 30%, 70, 30, and then 10%. So I think, I think it's probably between 20 and 5% is what we're hearing. The 80, 90, and 95% are inactive or not performing. So let's talk about this and how we can help. So what we want is, if ideally in a wanted world, I always wanted to be able to know about my partners and to figure out what we've, got to work with. I didn't know how to do it except the old-fashioned way of looking at their website, looking at LinkedIn, looking at competitors' websites. And how can I take actionable information on data? I didn't really know. We were always guessing. And I would assume and think probably that a lot of people on this call are, and that's as a channel industry, that we need to improve that. That is the misdemeanor or the wrongdoing that we're trying to overcome the crime, and which the inactive partners are worth investing in. So if you could take a snapshot of your top partners, you may find some partners that are like that in the inactive base. You just need to know how to talk to them and uncover them. And then when we're recruiting, I spent a lot of time as a channel leader and a channel manager doing my own manual research. That was kind of an expensive headcount to do the scraping and mining and pulling things together. And then how do we monitor our partners? So I want to know about my partners. I want to keep the PRM fresh. And guess what? What we're seeing is maybe 10 to 20% of the partners in current networks maybe out of business or they've been acquired. So their domains, their website, their email addresses may have changed. So they may not even be hearing our message. So let's figure out how we can get this. And so the channel is morphed into a blob. This is from Jay McBain's slide, Forrester Research. So he says there's 175 ISVs, and the stacks in each category are getting more and more niche-y. So the partners that we want to target really need to be hyper-focused. So how can I do this? This seems unmanageable just at the face value. So PartnerOptimizer, and I used to be a customer of PartnerOptimizer when I was with LogMeIn. We had tremendous success. I'll let you know a little bit about that later. But we help B2B channel organizations accelerate and optimize your channel, get to the right partners right away, recruit them, and also understand your existing partner network better so you can work with them better. Okay, another quick poll, and then we'll get into the meat here. So what tools are you using to discover the right partners for recruitment now?
And we've got votes coming in, not votes, poll answers coming in is what people are seeing right now. And Randy, while we're waiting for the poll to close, you talked about how the channel has morphed into a blob. I mean, there's so much crossover and so many different ways of thinking now than there used to be. It's really quite fascinating. The old way I know that I used to be recruited and the way that I as an MSP used to go out to try to find the right vendors, it's completely changed. And over the last couple of years without events, it's even changed even more, making it harder to necessarily find the right conversations that you want to have.
Exactly, and if I would say if I was answering this and it was a multiple choice, I'd say all the above, but then crystal ball.
And we've got the poll
20%
responses.
of the crystal ball, that's good. And LinkedIn, so I mean, how much, and manual web research, how much can you really glean from that work and retain and use and capture for later? So,
not to mention the time.
Yeah, the time, hours, and I was expensive, to do that. So, so what we have done, and it's similar to DNA, and this is one way we like to talk about it. And I don't know about you, but I love to watch crime shows, CSIs, all the different ones. and that. And if we look at CODIS, so Combined DNA Index System, back in the 80s, they before DNA, they couldn't find a killer. They would get the blood and they would try to match blood type. And then they had DNA, but it was expensive and it wasn't the database wasn't built yet. And so in the 80s, they started pulling in the CODIS, Combined DNA Index, and now they have an international network of DNA profiles that they can pull this up. So it's used for genetic profiling, biopharma research, healthcare. They can tell if you're going to be prone to a disease, identity and theft, crime investigations, genealogy. So this is the business part, but look on the genealogy. It's even gone to the consumer with 23andMe. So now you can run your DNA, you can see it, and you can even see people that match you, relatives that you didn't know that you had. So that's what PartnerOptimizer has done. And our founder, Dina Moskowitz, she started to solve this problem a number of years ago, because I, as a vendor in the SaaSMAX marketplace, was saying, this is great, but we need to find the right partner. And she heard that, and she and the team built a partner discovery engine that could go out and discover all the partners, catalog them, use AI and algorithms to pull them all together in a way that was meaningful, so that you could find your ideal partner profile. What does that look like? What do your top partners look like? And how do we find matches for that? And how do you, when you're as a channel manager, if you're calling into a partner, an existing partner, if you knew more about them, if you knew that they were mentioning your competitor 5 times more than your product on a website, that might be a good conversation to have. Why are you doing that? How can we move this up? And then we can segment the partners, and then also you can learn what your total partner addressable market is. If you take this profile, this ideal profile, this DNA profile that you've decided, how do we find what that addressable market is, and go find them, invite them to work with us in the PRM refresh. So I filled out PRMs. I just kind of check boxes. So a lot of times the PRM data isn't that fresh. So how can you keep that fresh and accurate and up to date? So that's what PartnerOptimizer platform is providing, in a way that CODIS in the DNA indexing provided to healthcare and genetic profiling. So these are the components of the partner DNA. And these are the 21 attributes that we catalog and we group, and we can pull together and tell you about your partners. We call this the company genome, which is everything about a company, everything, all the different DNA components, the markers within the DNA. And so we really get granular. So what, if you think about the partners you're working with, what are the company types? What do they look like? What products? What's the employee size and revenue? What are the tech stacks? This was really important for me. So when I was with BlogMeIn, we were launching an MSP version, a multi-tenant version of LastPass. And we wanted to target MSPs, but not the small MSPs, larger MSPs. We want to do VARs with MSP practice. We did not want to go up against partners that had competitors. Just decided not to fight that fight. But in the security stack, we could see the adjacent vendors where there was a password manager missing. And so we used that and subscribed to a great number of partner profiles with PartnerOptimizer. And we were able to kill our first year number by 385%. And it was amazing, because we could talk to the partner using all this information. We could talk to the partner in a language they knew that we cared about them and we knew about them. So they would take the meeting. And once we explained the program and we could use all this, the DNA profiling, it was a quick win to get them signed up. 40% of the partners we talked to signed. And because they were the right fit, the time from signing to first sale was short. And that's how we achieved that number. And you can improve those stats that you're having now with your partners. So this is great information.
Randy, I love that, because from the other side of the aisle, from the partner side, I can't tell you how often somebody would call me and it was really obvious they knew nothing about my business, nothing about the clients I target, nothing about what was important to me. They just wanted to recruit partners. And, when I would go into a potential client, they'd call up and they'd say, hey, we'd like you to take care of all of our technology. I did all of this with my clients to make sure they were the right fit for what my company and my staff did. So to be able to really, it's not even niching it down, it's understanding your client and their drivers. I really love that you talked to that. So let's go a little bit deeper into that.
Sure. So this is the partner DNA profile that PartnerOptimizer has put together. And this is really where the channel science comes in. I don't know that we've ever had science and channel in the same term, but you can see this, and we give a scoring based on the ideal partner profile. You can see all the terms that they're listing on their website and their social. And then the stars on here are where they rank, or which are like the must-haves. And so you can see, but you can also learn insights. So we had a customer that thought they were targeting MSPs, and so we ran their top partners. And some had MSP as a category, but most of them were virtual CIOs. So that was a huge awakening that, hey, we're talking to the wrong people. We can shift that. And we can see that, and on these, each of the attribute areas, you're just seeing the top 6, but really it goes deeper. It goes as many as there are. Like there's 22 unique terms for partner company type on that website, so you can learn more, not just the ones that you're thinking about, but you can see insights that are deeper than that, which is huge value to targeting partners and understanding them and working with them. So how does this happen? So the channel science investigation starts with building your ideal partner profile, and it has tons of attributes. So we work with our customers and design that ideal partner profile, but we also take the top 15, 20, 30 partners that you already have, and we profile them. So it's kind of like the FBI profiler, that they can come up with a good idea of what they're looking for, and so can we with your partners. And then we look for lookalikes, or we tweak the ideal partner profile maybe to expand or hyper target more. We score and segment them in the tool, and we can give you overall insights into what the channel looks like. We just did this with a recent customer, and they can really see a lot about what they're learning, what verticals overall of the partner community, who's selling into where, and also, who's mentioning the competitor more, or where has there been shift. So if you're losing mind share with the partner, you're gonna want to know about that, and you're gonna want to reach out to that. And then what terms are changing that they're talking about, I think is great insight, and will help you just strategize and discover and recruit much faster and much more efficiently. Okay, but the power of this is incredible, and this is what I experienced. So, and we're seeing this over and over. So saving time, targeting partners, researching them, figuring out which are the right ones. So anywhere from 50 to 75% time. So if you look at time and the salary of the people that are doing the research now, the channel managers, or maybe even SDR, BDR, that can get expensive. And then we're saving money, because if I recruit the wrong partner, one, I spend a lot of time trying to get them to do things that they don't want to do. A lot of times they sign up just to get me to stop bugging them, and then I throw spiffs if they take a little action, and we cheer, we got them to take a training or something, and we've given them money. But if they're the wrong partner, that money is being wasted. So we can save money in that way by from recruiting bad partners, or divesting in the partners that are no longer serving our needs. And we can save energy. So we convert quickly rather than always following up. Hey, are you ready to sign up? Hey, are you ready to sign up? We'll show a little bit more data on this and accelerate sales. If they're the right partner, the time to buy and the time to engage will be much faster because they'll be motivated, and it'll help your partners and it'll help your channel managers, and everybody wins. And so these are some of the actionable DNA insights that we can give by when we run an entire network. And we do this for partners. We run an entire network of their existing network, and we can really get some of these deep insights. So channel, there's a lot of shift happening. A lot of people change jobs. You know, that what's the average tenure of a channel person and a channel leader? Probably, you know, 18 to 24 months. I've seen in some reports. So how do you get the deep data? You're coming into a new channel. What's the best way to get all this information? And we talked to an incredibly large software company the other day, and they're like, we have all kinds of data. We have tons of data. We just don't know what to do with it and how to present it in a way that's meaningful and actionable. And that's what the channel informatics report does, and that's what the profiles do. And they can offer you. So you get real meaningful data collected in a way that makes sense, that gives you actionable items to take away. Okay, this is actual stats from a large distributor. They were helping one of their ISV partners recruit, and they were doing the old school way on the bottom, EverString and ZoomInfo. They rendered 1.3 million contacts. They sifted and they did their magic over 70 hours and 9 weeks to pull that data together, and versus the 8 to 10 hours that they kind of did an A/B testing. So old school and then PartnerOptimizer. We were able to source that discovery part of the process to 8 to 10 hours under 1 week, hyper-targeted 300 partners versus the 1.3 million contacts. And so that saved time and effort by 9 times. It's amazing stats. And when I was presenting some of this info to my leaders and trying to sell them on using PartnerOptimizer, sometimes I had to lower the stats because it just seemed too good to be true. Which is kind of interesting, but then you look like a hero once you overachieve. So this same study, A/B testing, so the 1.3 million contacts, and then sifted down, and then they did outbound with telesales to get appointments and to convert partners. EverString ZoomInfo got 4 partners out of that project, 9 weeks. PartnerOptimizer process and hyper-targeting got 20 partners. So 5 times the partners in less than half time and 1/5 the cost. So who wouldn't want this? Is this something that you guys think you could do? It beats the crystal ball or, just some of the old school. And we can impact the entire kind of motion of the channel. So from recruitment, we've already been talking about this, reducing time and effort and resources, channel activation. If they're the right partner, they're going to want to be activated. You're not going to have to push that big rock up the hill and try to motivate them to do something that's not a good fit. In optimization, so how do you understand your existing ecosystem? How do you figure out which partners to divest, invite to leave? And how do you look for the nuggets in the rough and then go back to the beginning? So now that you know which ones are good, then you recruit, you activate, and then you optimize. And we can help with every stage of this and really optimize this. So this is where that science comes in to improve and improve the capabilities of your channel. Okay, and then this is back to the blob. So we're slowly and actually quickly attacking each of the categories here, and you can see that we have a great cybersecurity focus. The ISVs, the VARs, the MSPs are really strengths right now, and we're always growing this. Telco agents, sub-agents. So you can see that we're slowly cataloging and doing this globally. This isn't just North America, this is globally. So we're working with people in APAC, we're working with people in EMEA and MEA, and North America and LATAM. So we can provide this service and these deep partner profiles globally. And so strategize. How do you, if we do a little bit of the work up front, in the manual way, you would, we start by, we have a worksheet and we work with you to do this. So how do you build your ideal, profile that you want, and then we'll run that against your top partners. And the manual way to discover is just doing that search internet and trying to work with the disties or outsource it to researchers that are really just taking their flat database and using their crystal ball and coming up with what they think might be a propensity to buy or propensity to partner. But how, if their data is not being refreshed all the time, how good is that going to be? So this is the process. If you want to take a look at this ideal partner profile, there's a URL down on the bottom there, and then I'd be glad to meet with you and kind of walk you through this and see what stage in this channel journey you're at, and what is the greatest need, and see where we can start working together. And then finally, so once we do that, then we run this against our partner discovery engine, and we can provide you your total partner addressable market. This is an example of this one company. We found 3,500 partners that were really good. Of those, 1,700 fit the profile almost exactly. Like I would say, like an A+ or an A, and then the very good is 572, or like an A- or a B+ in the scoring, still really good. And the goods might be a B or a B-. And the maybe still might be good, but if I were working with this company, I would say let's start at 2,000 or 2,200 in that total excellent and very good market. So my offer for you today is let's test this out in an easy way. Let's give it a trial, and so we can help you build this TPAM, total partner addressable market. Just email me afterwards. There's my email address, and we'll get started. We'll be able to meet with you and see how we can help and see how we can work together.
All right, Randy, we've got some questions that have come in the question pane. I want to thank everybody for watching so far. Just a few questions that I want to throw out there. You mentioned, Randy, and I'm paraphrasing a couple of different questions that popped up. You mentioned the total presentable addressable market. What about our existing client base? Is it possible to look at our existing base using your tools to tell us what we really have?
Absolutely. So that's taking a look at your current ecosystem, and we can model your top partners with the rest of your channel. So we can provide you that reporting that we were looking at, and we can show you the profiles, and you can see, who's working and who isn't, and who are the best, and then how do we go out and recruit those.
I would think then if you had that, you'd also be able to see, well, here's our partners that are driving the highest revenue. What do they look like? And that could help you find your ideal partners as well.
Absolutely.
Reverse engineering it.
Yeah. What's our DNI profile? Let's put it into the CODIS machine, the PartnerOptimizer machine, and find more of them like that.
I love that. I think that is so cool. Okay. We have a gentleman that appears to be a consultant. He said, is the PartnerOptimizer solution just for vendors looking for channel partners, or can it be used for consultants to look for another way?
Yeah, I think it is good for consultants. So if you're looking for, partners to be customers, or some partners that we work with also provide services to other partners. So, I have someone I'm talking to that they provide ERP, CRM implementation. So they're working with partners that sell that have customers for that, but they don't have the time or the skill set to help that customer implement. So he's providing sub-services to those partners, and it's a great way to grow that, either way.
Okay. Another question came in. Can you play with the data once you get it from PartnerOptimizer once you get that DNA data to see how it impacts your potential partners so that you can see if tweaking gives you a larger total oppressor. Cannot say TPAM
Oh,
written out all the way today so far, Randy. So I'm just going
you're
to
doing
shorten it to
great. You're doing
TPAM
great.
to
Yeah,
see how
yeah.
it changes those excellent, very good, good partners based on fit.
Yes. So once we have your ideal partner profile and the terms that align to that, you can go in and adjust those and see, kind of do sub campaigns or tweak that. And we actually do part of that in the onboarding process. So we have our data science team. They will work with the customer and really optimize. Okay, this is what the top partners like. This is what I think. But as we work through it, let's kind of tweak it, some different terms that we're focusing on or markers, and then come up with the best addressable market. Definitely.
Okay, great. And that is all the time we have today. So I want to thank everybody for being here with us. And thank you, Randy, for sharing your expertise on this. And if anybody would like to get in contact with Randy, his email is on the screen, or when you get to the survey, feel free to check that box. Yes, you want to be in communication. And that will immediately trigger me sending you out a personal introduction to Randy. So thank
Thanks
you,
again.
everybody, and have a
Thanks
great
again,
weekend.
Laura.
It is Friday,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Thanks, Laura, for joining me and helping with this. As always, did a great job.
All right, thanks. Take care, everybody. Have a
Okay,
great day.
bye now.